Training the overhead events in strongman can be a little bit overwhelming. There's a bunch of different techniques that you can use, as well as a wide variety of implements you have to get proficient at. So from a technique perspective, you have your split jerk, push press, viper press, and strict press. As far as the events, most frequently you'll see your log press, axle press, and circus dumbbell. A little bit less frequently, you'll see Viking press and keg press, and then least frequently will often be seen in the form of an odd object or press medley would be a sandbag, block press, or even a barbell press. Now, some of the things you want to consider when determining what technique to use for these specific events or implements is going to be, one, looking at the individual athlete, seeing what their skill set is, and see if they're competent at all of these variations. The next thing would be to factor in that generally lighter athletes or lighter weight class athletes are a little bit more biased towards those dynamic, explosive Olympic jerk variations, whereas for your bigger, heavier, stronger athletes, you're going to be a little bit more biased towards strict pressing or push pressing with minimal leg drive. As a rule of thumb, I'd say look at how stable an implement is. So something that's similar to a barbell, like a log or an axle or even a dumbbell, is very stable. You can get away with jerking those implements overhead. For something that's not very stable, like a block or a sandbag or any type of odd object, you're going to be a little bit more biased towards strict pressing it or push pressing it with minimal leg drive, just so that you can control that implement because it's so awkward. The keg press and Viking press are going to be somewhere in the middle. We're generally going to be very proficient at just push pressing it. Now, the other thing to think about is what the actual event you're being tested in. So if it's a 1 rep max, use whatever technique can get the most amount of weight overhead. If it's as many reps as possible in 60 seconds, do the technique that is most efficient to get the most amount of reps in those 60 seconds. Also factor in if it's a press medley, if it's clean once and press away, or clean and press every single rep. All of those things are going to influence what technique you're going to use. And lastly, factor in your injury history and what limitations that may force on you.